Hi guys, and welcome back to Tommy Starcraft. This is your host Tommy with another Starcraft Remastered replay for you guys. And once again we have a great engagement here in between two pro players from the Starcraft 1 Broodwar scene. So let me just start by introducing the players to you guys. In the lower left, in the purple, it is Slayer's BOXER from South Korea. And his opponent is going to be none other than spawning here at a 12 o'clock position. The blue Zerg, it is Mr.X. Sadly, I don't have that many info about here Mr.X. Perhaps he's from Korea, perhaps he's from the European scene, but I'm pretty sure that he's a very talented Zerg, as he is up here against BOXER on the map Lost Temple here. Even moves out with his first Overlord, sadly for him, in the wrong direction. So we have a great Zerg versus Terran here, so let's just see what exactly these two players have prepared for us. Of course, Zergs really like to go into some push with some Mutalisk later on, so tier 2 possibility is here of course for the Zerg, as many Zergs really like to harass the Terrans with that Mutalisk. Of course a lurker push could of course be a possibility here for the Zerg as well, as lurkers are very good here against the mass bio push here from the Terrans. Lurkers with their splash damage very good against Marines, Medics and Firebat heroes. But like we've seen in previous replays, some Terrans, including Flash, really like to go for mass mechanical units, tanks, vultures, and later on Goliaths, of course, in case there are Mutalisk. Pretty standard open up here by BOXER with one supply depot. The barracks has followed up here. Let's just see what Mr.X is going. No spawning pool yet for him. Perhaps he's going straight into a fast expansion build order here. Indeed, his drone is going into the right direction, as he is going straight for a expansion, so a little bit of a greedy gameplay here by him. I really like that vibe. And let's just have a look what exactly BOXER is building. Is this perhaps going to be his factory? No, he's just building yet another barracks here for him. So this will very likely indicate to us that he indeed has chosen the mass bio build order here with Marines, Medics and Firebats. First Marine already popped out on the map. Is being produced, sorry, the supply depot, this should be a supply depot indeed. So yeah, pretty standard open up here by BOXER. BOXER is of course known for his bunker rushes, for his dropship harassment, so a very aggressive, a very strong player from South Korea, actually one of the first pro gamers in this scene, so truly a legend here, playing here against Mr.X. Mr.X opening up here after his expansion with that spawning pool, with that extractor. So of course the extractor needed just to upgrade those Zergling legs. And we have a cocky SEV here, already dealing damage to this hatchery. Pretty soon BOXER is of course going to explore this location, as we also have the first drone out here for Mr.X, but it's already been taken out here by these Marines. However, he sees the two barracks here, he knows exactly what is coming towards him, so he needs to be of course very careful, as his first Zerglings should of course be pulled out here. Now let's just have a look at the follow-up once again. Like I told you, the Zerg really needs to take care of his expansion now. Even builds a nice macro hatch here, so this might indicate to us that he's going into some mass Zerglings early on with a push. Some Hydralisk could be an option here for him. There is no tier 2 yet upgrade, as we close in at the 4-minute mark. Mass Marines here for BOXER, as he also builds that academy of course, so much needed just to upgrade your stim for your Marines here. So BOXER sees this macro hatch, knows about the expansion, so I'm pretty sure that very early on he's going to try a push here with those Marines. He's already at 10 Marines here and pumping even more and more Marines. So yeah, pretty standard stuff here by him. And let's just have a look what the answer from the Zerg is going to be. Zergs really like to fend off any attack with some Sunkens, of course. Sunkens very good against the Marines early on, as soon as you see those Sunkens, many Terrans really like to go into siege tanks. Siege tanks of course a great counter to those Sunkens. Now finally this SCV should be taken out here, as the Zerg is mutating into a tier 2, so this is much needed in case he's going for some lurkers. So even the fact that Mr.X knows that BOXER is going for a mass bio push, he is very likely going to go for some lurkers, it would be very much indicated. And look at that, this is what I told you guys, some sunkens are already being made here on this map here just to defend this location. Some Zerglings are also on the map, so the Zerg really needs to get a nice surround here against these Marines. If there is a Marine follow-up going to be, he just leaves one Zergling here just to detect exactly when BOXER decides to move out, as his first medics are also out on the map. And more medics are being produced. Even the third barracks is being produced, and yes, indeed, steam is being researched. And I'm pretty sure that after steam is being done, perhaps BOXER is going to add some fire bats, perhaps siege tanks. I don't see any factory yet here by him, so it looks like a pretty much all in here as we're closing in at the 6-minute mark. Notice how Mr.X leaves his overlord here nicely positioned just to see when the army move out is going to be. At the same time, if it's going to happen, he of course is going to upgrade these creep colonies into sunkens, as there is a nice scan here for BOXER. Notice that Terrans of course have the scan ability here just to see exactly what the Zerg is up to. And we have actually a Spire, so this is interestingly enough here by the Zerg going into a Spire. Marines with steam and medics are actually a good counter against the Mutalisks, so I don't really agree with that here, but of course Mr.X knows better than me. He also leaves an overlord here into this position and some Zerglings in case there's going to be a drop, because like I told you guys, BOXER is very much known here for his dropship harassment. Does he have a starport into his main? No, he's just going for a factory now, so a factory he's very likely going to decide to go into some siege tanks, because of he saw with that scan that the Zerg has upgraded his sunkens here. Some firebat heroes are also out on the map, as we see the first army move out with many Marines with some medics, and 3 firebats here for the Terran. Let's just have a look. Of course, the Zerglings will be no match against this massive bio push out here. We have some Mutalisks out on the map, so I think that lurkers would have been a better decision, but then again, let's just see exactly what is going to happen here. We have the first stim. Sunkens are getting targeted. Let's just have a look. The Zerglings are coming in from the back, but there are firebat heroes dealing so much splash damage. The Mutalisks are of course being taken out very fast, and this actually looks really good here for BOXER. BOXER dealing so much damage. There's one sunken being left here trying to be protected by those drones, but there's so much damage. This sunken nicely placed here for the Zerg, dealing so much damage here against BOXER, but BOXER with that great timing push here is able to cripple here the economy from Mr.X, so really good stuff here by him. Just have a look at the follow-up here. This one sunken in the high ground doing really great damage here against the Terran. So things actually pretty good for him. Now the expansion has fallen here for the Zerg. These Zerglings will of course kill some Marines or two, but in the end the Marines will hold with some medics. These medics need to be together with their Marines. We have the reinforcements coming in here for BOXER. The hatchery has fallen. He did place some turrets here just in case the Mutalisk harassment will come in, and he's also going for a star port here, so I'm pretty sure he's going for either a dropship harassment here later on, as he's pushing now in through this ledge, through this position. He leaves his medics in the front just to soak up the first damage, and now he's going straight for that sunken. The drones are being pulled. There are some Mutalisks here in the back, and this position is actually a little bit bad here for BOXER, as he's not able to kill those sunkens. Those sunkens are very strong here against him, as he needs to pull back a little bit, and pretty much sure he might try again just to kill this sunken here. There aren't that many units here for him, but of course he could also try to do a dropship harassment here into this location. BOXER a little bit sloppy here with his Marines. The Marines have taken a little bit of damage, as there are 3 sunkens here into this position. However, if you look at the economic damage, we have BOXER with 31 SCVs already versus the 14 only for the Zerg. Finally, the Spire is being targeted here by BOXER, as more and more reinforcements are coming in here for him. So things actually look really good here for BOXER. Once again, a scan goes out, more and more sunkens are being produced here by the Zerg, so this will very likely indicate to us that BOXER indeed needs a siege tank perhaps onto this location, or much easier with that starport. He's very likely going to go into some dropship harassment even builds this science facility just to go for some science vessel just to irradiate perhaps these units here. Some hydralisks are making out on the map, so yes, indeed, Mr.X is very likely going to transition into some lurker gameplay here, as BOXER is waiting here perhaps for his liftoff for his dropships. More and more steamed marines are moving out on the map. More and more bio is being produced here now by BOXER with medics, with marines, and so on. And let's just have a look when exactly the first dropship is going to come. It is actually already out on the map, as a science vessel is also being produced. And let's just see if Mr.X is going to have an answer against this harassment here by BOXER. BOXER playing it very, very intelligent here. Is just going to avoid this location and going straight into this location. There is, remember, the Terran has one scan available, as his science vessel should of course also follow up really, really soon. So another drop here by BOXER. BOXER bringing all of his units into the position. He's perhaps going to even lift off these units and just place them down there. The science vessel is also out on the map. Overlord will not fall here, luckily for Mr.X, as we pretty soon will be seeing a very strong engagement here. However, some lurkers are being placed here, and let's just see if these lurkers will be not. There are 4, even 5 lurkers here, but they should be perhaps positioned into this position here. Mr.X gets scanned now, and here we go. Steam goes out. BOXER tries to find a good position here, going straight for that sunken, but not that much damage. Needs to be careful here against these lurkers. Once again, the micro is really, really good, but that splash damage is very, very strong here by the Zerg. BOXER finds a good position. He goes straight here for this drone, straight for the economic damage here, but he's taking so much damage here out of these lurkers, and this is what I told you guys. Lurkers so strong against a bio push here by BOXER. However, the economy is hurt. Mr.X is not really mining anything now, as there are 40 workers versus only the 15 here from Mr.X. But these lurkers should be able to hold this position, even though there's not that much here being left for Mr.X. Lurkers a great counter here against those marines and medics and fire bats, so really, really good job here by him, by the Zerg. Perhaps even a winning move. Let's just have a look if what's the answer here from BOXER going to be. He has more and more reinforcements into his base. However, his dropship harassment has been fended off, as there are even some mutalisks here. So yeah, it's still 1 base versus 2 base now, as we have 42 workers here. Another dropship here with some units. So we are going into a waiting game now, as BOXER will decide indeed what exactly his next step is going to be. He's producing some tanks here, and the siege capability is being of course engaged here, as more and more marines with medics are being produced. So of course a siege tank push out is the good answer here against this. Those siege tanks need, however, to be very, very much protected here against the mutalisk. Now we've turned into a waiting game here. BOXER is producing more and more units here, more and more science vessels. Science vessel also a good answer with that irradiate against those lurkers, against those hydralisks, and we even have an army move out here by the Zerg. So the Zerg feels very, very confident here, as we still have 1 firebat hero being left behind. Needs to be very, very careful. He is going to give some little bit of small sight here for BOXER, as Mr.X is moving out here on the map with some lurkers and indeed 2 or 3 mutalisks, and this tank is nicely positioned here on the high ground. It's being, however, targeted now by those hydralisks, and BOXER needs to be a little bit careful, as of course these lurkers need to be detected, perhaps even irradiated here by him. His expansion is in a little bit of trouble. His scan is taking quite some damage. These lurkers are moving in. There are units into that bunker. 1 lurker is being, actually 2 lurkers are being taken out here. But also these lurkers dealing so much splash damage here against the BOXER. So BOXER perhaps needs to move out with his science vessel here. The SCVs have been pulled. 1 lurker once again is being taken out, but his expansion is being harassed here, as it needs to lift up. Mutalisk is going to come in here, but Mr.X needs to be very, very careful, of course, as his supply is dropping quite low right now. In comes the science vessel. Perhaps you're going to see some irradiate. Indeed, 1 irradiate going out here against this lurker. Pretty good decision, of course, to go irradiate against those lurkers. Also remember, guys, that science vessel do see exactly these burrowed units. So pretty interesting move here by Mr.X. He feels very confident, but with a little bit of mistake here, he's actually going to lose his 2 lurkers, as we have a nice drop in here by BOXER with his dropship. Yet not that much being left here for Mr.X, and I'm pretty sure that as soon as BOXER decides to move out here with his greater army composition, he's going to look very strong here indeed, as these units have already taken out so much of the Zerg. Notice that there is no mining yet going on here. Finally the mining is going on. BOXER perhaps just taking a little bit of a break here. His marine is into the main from the Zerg, and I don't see anything going on here now from the Zerg. So this will very likely indicate to us that indeed a GG has been called here. BOXER mining from this location is even producing more and more units now. Just have a look, indeed more and more marines are being produced. These 2 siege tanks are being produced, and some SCVs aren't mining here really for him, so this looks like the end of the game. Hold on, there is a dropship once again. 1 marine here into this position, so yeah, we even have 2 science vessel here with the irradiate going on. So very interesting stuff here by him, but there is actually not that much here to be irradiated, as all those drones have been already killed. So yes, indeed, I think I'm going to stop this replay right now. We have only 5 workers here for the Zergs, somewhere hidden here, so perhaps the replay is a little bit of corrupted here. However, a nice early push here from BOXER, really doing some great damage here against the Zerg. It could be a good lesson for you if you are a Terran. Yeah, even some long distance mining. I believe that the replay is sadly a little bit corrupted, however a great lesson for you guys. If you push out early with some medics, with some marines, with an early 2 barracks push out here, you can deal massive amount of splash damage, massive amount of damage against the Zerg. So yeah, I'm going to stop the replay right now, guys. I hope you enjoyed this replay. Sadly, it's a little bit corrupted, I didn't know about this, but the BOXER showing us his strengths once again with that bio push and with that dropship harassment here. I really hope you guys enjoyed this raid as much as I did. I will be seeing you, of course, in the next replay. This is Tommy signing out.